What's going on, my good people? Mike Hidalgo here. Thank you for joining us on another FCP Euro DIY. Today we're going to be working on a 2011 Volvo XC90 P2. Today on the XC90 behind me, we're going to be covering how to replace your vehicle's battery. In front of me, we have two options, both of which are available on fcpro.com. We have an Odyssey H6 and an Odyssey H8 battery. These cars came equipped with different sizes, so before you go ahead and order, you want to go ahead and verify which size is equipped in your vehicle. That way you can put the same battery in it. This car actually has the wrong battery in it. Someone just purchased it and it was something that was kind of thrown in. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade to one of these AGM batteries. These typically will last you anywhere from 5 to 10 years, depending on what kind of life the vehicle lives. You can always take a voltmeter if you need to test your battery, if you have a fear or thought that it may be going bad. And to learn a little bit more about batteries and charging systems and all that good stuff, be sure to click the link in the description below where our very own Nate Vincent takes you on the deep dive of how to diagnose an electrical problem in your vehicle, should you be experiencing that in your XC90. But before we get started on this DIY, let's take a look at some of the tools you're going to need for this job. For this DIY, you're going to want to use a ratchet. An extension is handy but not mandatory, a 13mm socket, and a 10mm socket. Now that we know what we're working with, let's go ahead and get started on this DIY. All right, my good people, we are in the trunk of the XC90. The battery is located under this rear cover. Simply lift up and fold that over. This is held in by three 13mm bolts, which you will see one of ours is missing. We have a mismatched one and a nut in the back, so let's get to it. I'm going to cheat a little bit and just switch over to an electric impact and zap this bolt and nut out. Again, 2 13s, but it should be a total of 3. And then 3 would be right here. Just going to go ahead and pull that metal shield off. And we have a plastic cover to lift off as well. Now, as you can see, this car has the complete wrong battery in it. The battery tie down that holds it in place isn't even doing anything with this. So that's not good. But let's say this was the right battery in here right now. We would start by removing the 10mm bolt down there that holds the battery tied down in place. So we'll start by removing the 10mm bolt. Again, just pretend this looks proper. Down here you can see the different holes for the different size batteries that these cars could have came equipped with, so you can adjust your bracket as needed. Now we're going to proceed over to the negative terminal. I'm going to start with undoing the 10mm nut here. This nut does not come off all the way, it's just a pinch bolt, which was already loose to begin with. That's good. We'll go ahead and set that negative terminal off to the side. Now we'll do the positive. And we'll go ahead and lift that up. And we can pull this old junk battery out. And now we're going to go ahead and feed our pretty nice H8 AMG in here. These are a little bit heavy. We're going to set our tie down bracket in first before we do anything else. And we'll snug that up by hand. And then we'll just snug it down with the ratchet. All right. Now our battery is nice and secure in there. With new batteries, you always want to install the positive terminal first. So we'll take that cover off. Set that on nicely. Snug that up, and then we'll just snug these up by hand. Again, these don't take a lot of force. You can strip them if you over tighten them. There we go. If you'd like, you can shove this back on. Now we can do our negative terminal. Take that cover off, snug that up, and same deal. Just gently snug up this nut on this pinch bolt. Beautiful. That's nice and tight. This is much better than what we started with. Now we can take our plastic cover, just place it over the top. Now we can take our metal lockdown shield, and we'll hand start the 13mm bolts. Pretend we have a second one on this side. And then our 13mm nut out at the back. And I'm just going to use the Milwaukee to snug these down. And from there, my good people, we just fold down this flap. And that is going to conclude this DIY for today. Overall, a really straightforward process on the XC90. Again, check your battery size before you get started. As you can see, we had the completely wrong one in this vehicle. Just be aware your radio settings, some other settings may be reset. You're gonna have to reset those once you get back in the car, but otherwise, an easy job. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments on what we did today, leave those in the comment section below. And if you want to see more DIYs like this, please consider subscribing. We make new ones all the time. As always, thank you for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.